All right, everybody. It's that time again. Time for Makeup Gourmet Live. It's Joe Crown Organ Combo playing the music for us today. Thanks, Joe. And here he is, Chris Scott with Makeup Gourmet Live. Hey there, everybody. Thanks for showing up and tuning in. I'm super excited about today's show. All surface skin is young skin. I wanted to break down for us how the skin functions. I have so many clients that say to me, my skin is so old and tired, I don't know what to do with it. And because I understand skin just a little bit through using so much skincare, a skin cell that we see is no more than 30 days old, maybe 32, but that's about it. 32 days old. And so what we see on the surface of our skin is really the result of how we take care of that skin cell during its life cycle. The top layer of our skin is about as thin as a sheet of just regular paper, right? Sideways, flat. That's about the thickness of the top layer of our skin. And so let me show you what I mean by that. Our skin is really, if you're going to be super anatomical, it's made up of 5 layers, but really, it's just 3 major layers. There's the epidermis, that's the top layer of skin, the dermis, which is that middle layer of skin that contains more of the connective tissue and the fat tissues and also the oil glands and hair follicles live there. And then there's the hypodermis, which is underneath all of that. And you can see how much thicker the hypodermis is. That's where all the good, juicy fat that gives our skin elasticity and collagen and all that plumpiness, it's all living there and then moving up into the dermis. What's happening in the epidermis is really our body's defense. What's really cool about skin is that skin wants to protect us. That's its job. But here's the deal. The environment is rough and tough on skin. So, it's a sort of a lame analogy, but really skin cells are like, soldiers. They know what their fate is, but they go out there and they protect us. And then in the end, that's their life. And then it's over. And then the new skin cells coming up underneath, do the exact same process. But our top layer of skin, though it may not appear like it to you, is constantly replacing. Every 30 days you have all new top layer of skin. I know it looks like the same skin to you, but it doesn't have to if you want to find ways to make that last, the 30-day cycle of your skin really give you the healthiest looking skin possible. So what does that mean, the healthiest looking skin possible? Well, here's a chart of some skin cells. And I think through this process you'll understand. Now what I'm showing you here is really just the top layer of skin. That is that paper thin top layer of skin. So on the very bottom row you see all these tall skin cells all kind of squished together. They've just been born and they're ready to launch. They're babies. They're brand new. And then just above them you can see once they are born that they're big, round, juicy, pink, plump, happy skin cells. Why are they plump and happy? Because they're full of oxygen and water and they're translucent and they're springy and they have resilience. And that is what a young skin looks like. When you see a very young person, their skin automatically looks a tad more translucent. There's almost a sense of light, a brightness coming out of it, and that's really the oxygen and the light that's being exposed inside the skin cells. And then as we mature, our our skin cell reproduction starts to slow down. It doesn't need to produce skin cells so rapidly and lose skin cells so rapidly because we're not growing anymore. And that's where the skin can become sluggish, and then what I'm about to talk about next will occur. You can see the second line from the top, the flattening skin cells. So what happens is, if we aren't feeding our skin cells with good moisturization and finding ways to keep water in them, they start to flatten out. Now, when they start to flatten out, they do not reflect light as well. They're not so full of light. And when light hits our skin, it reflects more dully. So we get more of a flat bounce of light on our skin rather than a nice, fresh, clean bounce of light. And this has to happen eventually because these skin cells have to die, but you really can keep them full of a lot of moisture. There are ways to do that, which we'll be talking about here in today's episode. But understand that's what's going on. Now you can see at the very top, you see the more kind of brownish, kind of really flat disc-like skin cells. So that is the surface layer of the skin. And yes, the surface layer of your skin is dead skin cells. It has to be because they have to die in order for them to detach and remove. Because if they're still living and then they detach, there's a tear in the skin, right? Just a little tiny micro fissure, and you don't want that to occur. So eventually skin has to fall off and die. But you could really have an attractive dead skin cell or really sort of a dead-looking dead skin cell. So what we want are attractive-looking dead skin cells, right? And so how do you do that? How do you make your skin cells be as attractive as possible before they come off? So in skincare, there are a lot of things that you can do that will that can protect your skin, make your skin look better. There's lots of great little buzz ingredients that we can use, and I'm gonna do more episodes that concern ourselves with those techniques. What I really want you to understand today is the life cycle of your skin and how you can really master what the appearance of your skin is. Just on a cellular level. And so we're very, very excited because by popular demand, back with us for today's episode is a Miss Lisa Doyle. Hello, Lisa. Woohoo! Now, what I loved about Lisa on the last show that we did together, we were talking about skin, makeup first. Look how pretty she looks already. Beautiful skin. Now, Lisa does take care of her skin, as you can see. So there's a good reflection of light going on in her skin already today. She did exfoliate. She told me she exfoliated before she came over. So what you're seeing is, a lot of light coming out of her skin, a lot of reflection. And that's just the result of exposing those fresh living skin cells. That's all it is. And so I want you to think of taking care of your skin like brushing your teeth, because it really takes about the same amount of effort. So before you go to bed, if you're a person who brushes your teeth before you go to sleep, if you're willing to add one more event into your life, then that would be the skin care event, because it takes about as much effort and about as much time as brushing your teeth. So why not, right? Sure. Yeah, so let's just do that. So skin cells. So here's the tricky part about skin cells. How do we keep moisture deep inside those little fat juicy suckers? Because, as they move up, they just get thinner and flatter. So what's the trick? It really comes down to very few ingredients. And what I'm going to introduce right now is what are called hyaluronic acids. Now, hyaluronic acids, they already live in our joints. It's what gives our joints lubrication. And what they do, are you familiar with hyaluronics?
No.
Never heard of them?
I've heard of them, but I'm not sure what they do.
Well, that's what they do. And how they do it is they attract moisture. But not only, so they're a humectant.
Okay.
And not only do they attract moisture, but they hold on to moisture. So once the moisture comes to it, it sort of sucks in and absorbs it, right?
Into the cell.
Into the cell. And it sort of just, it contains the water. And that's how you can, and so if you have hyaluronic acid in your joints, then that's why the joint doesn't get all creaky and cricky. I mean, there's other things going on there, but hyaluronic acid is one of them. And so I'm a huge believer in hyaluronic acid in terms of keeping moisture in our surface skin cells. So I'm going to hydrate Lisa right now, and then I'm going to put some hyaluronic acid on her skin. Now, it's kind of scary because I put it on, her face is going to like burn up. No, it's not. It's really calm. So, surprise! My guys came over for a second time. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some toning elixir. Did I miss this on you before?
Last time.
Yeah, so turn towards me, and here it comes. I'm just going to mist her lightly. So what I'm doing is I'm just helping her skin. Well, I'm going to do some too because
this is toner.
This is toner. So, thank you, Lisa. She's very good at cueing me. Toner is, in terms of skincare, it's one of the steps you want to do before you start hydrating your face. And we're going to talk about the steps as in just a moment, but I just wanted to tone her skin a little bit because it makes her skin feel your skin right now. Feel that little bit of a slip?
Yeah, I want to rub it in.
Yeah, don't do it. I'm going to do it.
Oh,
it's my job.
Good.
So I probably can't see it, but I'm going to hold it up anyway. Age-defying serum. This is my #1 selling skincare product. It's magic.
It makes you go back in time.
Back in time. Ooh. So I'm going to do some age-defying serum on Lisa's skin. So what is age-defying serum? Well, the largest ingredient, not in terms of size, but in terms of quantity, are the hyaluronic acids. Now, hyaluronic acids, like I said, they attract moisture. They're a humectant. And if you want to keep water in your skin, you have to find a way to attract it. And there are different kinds of humectants out there in the world, but I'll tell you, hyaluronic acids are the mightiest. They are the mightiest. And I've touched a lot of skin, and I really know skin when I first touch it. And I can feel with Lisa's skin two things. One is that her skin is super smooth. Like I feel barely any surface dead skin cells. Maybe across her chin, but excuse me, that's about it. The other thing I feel is that her skin is thirsty. That I can tell that when we get done, her skin's going to be really, really happy. So you see this beautiful thin layer that I'm putting onto her skin. I'm also going to take it close to her eye area. The eye area is a bugger of an area, as we all know, because the eye area is that super thin layer of skin. And let's just talk about the eye area for a second. So let's go back to our skin layers, because this will be very dramatic. So in our skin layers, the epidermis, that top layer of skin, when you see the hair sticking out, that's attractive. That's the top layer of skin. We all have that. But that middle layer, you see how, you can see it's not the thickest, but it's the second thickest, the dermis, that layer almost doesn't exist around our eye area. And you see all that pinky, cushiony stuff, and there's a little bit of fat in that middle layer where some oil glands, and the oil glands just start to reach up into that layer, and oil gives our skin elasticity. Eye area doesn't have it. There's two other areas that don't have it. Our lips don't have it, and our décolleté do not have that layer of skin. That's why they're so prone to getting dry so quickly.
Aha.
Aha. So now that you understand layers of skin, like a scientist like me, you understand that why that thin skin around the eye area really wants to get some special attention. So that's why when I did the age-defying serum, I patted it gently around Lisa's eye as well. So feel your skin right now with your finger. Just kind of press and pull away. Do you feel a little bit of sticky?
Yes.
It's sticky because it's product, but it's also sticky because it's a humectant. And humectants are trying to attract moisture. And so you feel this kind of drawingness, this stickiness in the skin as it's trying to suck stuff in. So it's actually sucking in any moisture that's in the air into your skin. So if you live in a humid place, you're going to get a lot of water. If you live in Arizona, you're probably not going to get much into your skin at all. But
so, question.
Yeah.
The toner that you put on, was that to give a foundation of moisture before you put on the
age-defying
serum?
Not really a layer of moisture. Toner does a lot of different things. What I used it for just now was to give your skin a slip, but there are some other botanical humectants in my toner to help draw the moisture in, and there's also some like antiseptics, a little bit of witch hazel, a little bit of green tea extract, all these things that kind of help just protect the surface layer of the skin, right?
Okay.
And then we'll go into all the purposes of toner in just a couple of minutes once we get past the whole hyaluronic thing, and then exfoliation is the next thing. So those two things. So where were we? Oh, hyaluronic acid. So we just put that on her skin. So now when we deliver the moisturizer to her skin, not only is the water and the oil and the moisturizer going to go into her skin, but the water is going to want to stay. Because here's how it works. You put moisturizer on your skin, and usually it's a combination of water and oil. It can be oil-free, but even in an oil-free moisturizer, there's some kind of little fatty thing in there. You want to give your skin some elasticity, unless you're just super duper duper oily. You still want something fatty in there to give your skin elasticity. So you put the moisturizer on, and the oil really has nowhere to go. The oil doesn't evaporate, so it stays. Water flies out of her skin so fast. Think about it this way. You wash something, right? And then you hang it up outside, and then an hour later, all the moisture is gone. That's your skin. It does not want to hold on to water. It has no reason to hold on to water, and so the water flies out of your skin. When the water flies out of your skin, those fat, juicy, round, pink skin cells go, oh, I don't have as much water, and they start to flatten, and they start not to look as young. So how can we keep the water inside those skin cells? What's the answer?
Hyaluronic acid.
Hyaluronic acid is correct.
Ding, ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding, ding. You just may win a bottle of that today, young lady, if I didn't already give you one. So yes, hyaluronic acid. It's the best stuff. So even better than that, the most absorbent form of hyaluronic acid is the sodium form of hyaluronic acid called sodium hyaluronate.
Okay.
And guess what age-defying serum uses?
Sodium hyaluronate.
That's right. Sodium hyaluronate is correct. Ding, 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 ding. Right, exactly. And it's so good for our skin. It's so quickly absorbed. Then we're very happy. So next I'm just going to put onto Lisa's skin some moisturizer. Heck, why not? I'm going to use my antioxidant daytime moisturizer, SPF 15. I think you should have as much sunblock on your skin as possible. So if you want an SPF 5000, go ahead and use it. But the truth is really 50 is really the number you want to go for. What I would suggest is, but if you get a moisturizer that's SPF, 50, it's more sunblock than it is moisturizer, so you're just not going to get the goods that you need from the moisturizer. So my suggestion, I have two suggestions. One is it's the same suggestion. Have a separate sunblock that's higher, and either put it on after you put on all your moisturizer, or mix it with your moisturizer before you put it on. And really doing it after is better. I know it's another step, but you really, if you really want to protect your skin from the sun, you want your sunblock to go on last, closest to the sun. So I'm just mixing this into your skin. This feels really good. Your skin's just going, thank you. Do you feel it? Does it feel all right?
Yeah.
All right, good. So,
It's not burning yet.
congratulations, Makeup Gourmet. Your product doesn't burn Lisa's skin. I'm very, very...
tested on live models.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I'm blending it in nice and smooth. Sure feels good. Now, if I was Lisa, I would take this all the way down my décolleté. I just put it everywhere. Okay, get that moisture in the same. Might be a little bit expensive, but I would put the age-defying serum down on my décolleté too. My serum, that's the most expensive skincare item I sell, is $5,000, but it's worth it because you get a half an ounce. No, it's $29, and it really does spread out really quick. So see how much extra I have on my hand? So all that could go on her décolleté and neck, no problem. So, but we're not going to do that because...
at least neck.
You want your neck?
Yeah.
Oh, see, she wants her neck now. See how she is? All right. So let's do a little neck action. You don't exfoliate your neck though, do you?
Yes.
You do? You do exfoliate your neck?
Yes.
See how
I do it when I wash my face.
Now I got to tell you right now.
And décolleté.
See, everybody, can we just learn from Lisa? But it feels like you exfoliate your neck because I was going here. I was like, what? This skin feels really smooth. Well, you rock, sister. You rock the Casbah. Feel good?
Yep.
All right, good. So all the water that's in that moisturizer is getting sucked in and being held into those skin cells by the sodium hyaluronate. The sodium is the salt of hyaluronic acid, right? And that is a strong humectant that draws and holds water in the skin. When you keep water in your skin, the biggest result you're going to get is that those little pink juicy skin cells that only have a 30-day life cycle, see, those ones right in the middle, they're full of water. They're reflecting light. As they move up, they stay round and juicy. Instead of starting to flatten out, they stay round and juicy. So they reflect light better. They're more translucent. It's not magic, you know. It's not, what do you call it? Not rocket science. It's not rocket surgery. It's really just finding a good delivery system of water to your skin. Because, again, water doesn't want to stay in our skin. Hey, to go back to my analogy, which I just thought of, which is drawing a shirt and then putting it out. Imagine taking a shirt and dipping it in oil and water at the same time and then set it out to dry. All the water is going to leave, but it's still going to be oily forever, isn't it? That's how much oil doesn't, evaporate.
So do any of those components ever actually get absorbed into the skin from the outside, like into the follicles?
Which components?
Water or oil?
Do they get absorbed into the skin?
Yeah.
Well, just that top layer.
Okay.
So that the top layer is it's like a moisture barrier. It's impenetrable in terms of there are no blood, there's no arteries, no blood cells up there.
Right.
So anything you put up there does not it doesn't enter your system.
Right.
And that's for health, right? Because if there's any bacteria out there and it just gets on the top of your skin, a virus.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't go in. It's the big deal with skincare is that it's designed so that it doesn't do that. It's illegal for it to.
Right.
It's the advent of what they call cosmeceuticals, which are the kind of a hybrid skincare that gets into the middle layer of skin. And that's something we'll talk about in another episode because it addresses other issues. It's no longer trying to make the skin cells look their best. It's doing something else,
right.
and we'll chat about that too. So that's how you keep water in your skin. Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
And it's easy, right? It's one little extra step.
Right.
I always think of serums as like a vitamin. So if any of you take vitamins with your food, you take a vitamin because your body is short on something, or you want it to have more of something, a vitamin C, an iron, a vitamin E, whatever it is. So serum is like a vitamin in your skincare. It's a concentrated dose of something that can really help the performance and the appearance of your skin. So think of it like that. It's a supplement. And then think of the moisturizer as your meal, if you will. Okay? Good? All right. So the last thing I want to do on you is eye cream. And the reason we're going to do eye cream is just because you want to hydrate the whole eye area. So I'm using Makeup Gourmet's Intensive Moisture Eye Complex. Only $20. Intensive Moisture Eye Complex. Put it on a little bit on the pad of your finger. Look up for me. You just want to gently pat. I like to get really close to the eye. So remember, this tissue, super duper thin. So there's no middle layer. So what does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. Close your eye for me. This is something that most eye creams suggest you don't do, but I like to put it above the eye, especially right along the bone here. As we mature, this area can become a tad crepey, dry. Your makeup doesn't look as good. So I like to get it up just there. All right, good. And open for me. How's that feel?
Nice.
Does it feel nice? You want to have a little surprise? Secret? Fun?
Secret fun surprise, of course.
Secret fun surprise. The oil molecule that's in the eye cream is tinier than the oil molecule in the facial moisturizer. Because this skin is thicker skin. It has that middle layer of skin. It's designed to, you can let more things in, basically. Down deep into the skin. But because you don't have a middle layer of skin here, that top layer of skin is actually, it's just more flat. That's all I can say. It doesn't have that cushion up underneath it. So the oil, that for it to absorb in that skin, it needs to be a slightly more refined oil. Otherwise, it's not going to slip into that little thin tissue up there. Now, is it? That's right. So that's why, really, besides being ophthalmologist tested, that's what makes an eye cream is a more refined oil molecule. And I don't care if you're the oiliest person on the planet, you still want to put oil around your eye because you don't have that, you don't have conventional oil glands, so this skin is getting very little elasticity from within.
Okay.
Cool? So the lips, like I talked about earlier, same thing. So that's why I love eye cream for the lips, because it really wants that. It wants an oil that it can stay in it. If you use like a chapstick or anything, I mean, I'm telling you, it's a big oil molecule. It feels good, and it's what I call an environmental protectant because it keeps this part of your skin from underneath from losing water because it can't get past. There's a big block. But it also can't absorb anything because there's a big block coming the other way, the big oil molecule. So I take a little bit of eye cream. How do your lips feel right now to you?
Okay, I used a little bit of lip balm earlier.
Big fat oil molecules.
Probably.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is not only am I going to, well, this is a great segue, by the way. Not only am I going to hydrate, but you see this little circular motion that I'm doing, I'm actually also just trying to soften and loosen any surface dead skin cells on Lisa's lips. And you'll probably notice that the color in her lip is going to become a much fresher looking, younger looking, just by my applying the moisturizer. And so let's turn towards the camera for a second so we can kind of compare those two lips. And then I'm going to do the top lip. Same thing. You can open for me slightly.
It tickles.
Ha 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 ha. Turn towards me. I'll apply more pressure. Maybe it won't tickle so much.
Yeah.
But you see this little circular motion I'm making. If you ever feel like my lipstick isn't staying on, my lips are dry, when you put on your eye cream, grab a cotton swab and gently exfoliate the lips. And that, I mean, because that's what you're doing. You're emulsifying the dead skin cells. You're just basically dissolving them just with the moisture that's in the eye cream itself.
Interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and that's a really good segue because, so I'm very impressed with myself right now. It's a good segue because, someone's got to be. Let's get back to that crazy pink picture. So at the very top of that image on the right, you see those saucers, those flat discs. Those are dead skin cells. But you can see how they're still kind of connected to some of those skin cells underneath. And then there's a couple that are just sitting there on top. Those are dead skin cells, and they're ready to leave, but they're not going to leave until enough skin cells push it off. but they have no moisture left in them whatsoever. They're super, super dull and flat, gray, ashy looking. Sounds good. Get enough of those on your skin, and that ashiness reads as the skin looking kind of, dead, and not much life. It doesn't have much color. But we want our skin to have color, so what we're going to do is we're going to exfoliate. Now, just how we just exfoliated Lisa's lips with just a gentle circling motion, you want to exfoliate your face. So I'm not going to exfoliate Lisa's face today, but I am going to explain how I want you to exfoliate. I want you to completely rethink exfoliation, all right? So we have surface dead skin cells, right? Some are completely detached, and some are kind of hanging on by a thread. Now, often when people do their exfoliation, you'll use like a little washcloth or a little scrub, but they'll get in there and they really want to be vigorous with their skin. Right? Would you say, how vigorous are you when you exfoliate?
I have tried to be less vigorous because I don't want to end up being too ruddy after.
Yeah, right. So you're experiencing some of the effects, because what you're doing is when you're vigorous, you're tearing off dead skin cells. And so the skin's reacting with micro fissures. Right. And so instead of your skin saying, hey, we need some new skin cells, they send blood cells to sort of seal the gap, because that's, it's like a little tiny scab, because that's skin's job, is to protect us from, all the meanness that's out in the outside world of our bodies. So, good for our skin, right? So when you exfoliate, I like to think of it as an act of seduction. You're going to seduce those dead skin cells. So I have a great exfoliator, micro exfoliating scrub. Nice, kind of like dermabrasion crystals. They're very, very refined. You want to spend at least 2 minutes when you exfoliate. So
I was going to say, it depends on the product too. If I'm using a cheap apricot scrub, then I don't grind it in there.
Yeah.
But I have this clay-based powder that's a lot more delicate, and I put a little more elbow grease into that.
Yeah, the apricot...
And it has a cleanser in it too. Actually.
Anything. So, no offense to all the apricot scrub people out there, but I wouldn't use it. Those aren't good exfoliators, because the apricot seed doesn't break down. What you want is some kind of a dermabrasion crystal, whatever it is, that eventually dissolves. Because if it doesn't, it's eventually cutting into your skin. It's really designed to sort of meet with your skin, help emulsify, and then eventually wash away. So for what it's worth, and it will really help. So I'm just going to demonstrate on Lisa. Turn towards me here. If I'm going to be exfoliating her skin, I'm going to work with about that much intensity. So you see that little motion? Because I'm not going to go, okay, that part's done, okay, that part's done, okay, that part's done, okay, that part's done. It doesn't work like that. Right now, I'm just saying, hi, skin cells, how's it going? They're like, oh, we're fine, but we're dead, but we don't know what to do. So I was like, what's okay, skin cells? We're going to have a party. I want to know if you want to come along. Oh, really? What kind of party? You say, it's an exfoliation party. They go, ooh, that sounds kind of fun. See, so right now we're kind of seducing them to come to the party. And then by now they're starting to they're getting kind of dizzy, and they're starting to loosen up. I've emulsified them. I'm like, hey, the bus is right here. Why don't we all just go to that party? And they go, oh, okay, let's go. And then they all just fall off, and they're happy, okay? And then we move to the next section, and we ask you, say, hey, guys, want to go to the party? And you got to do the whole party thing over again. But the idea is that you're never trying to take off dead skin cells. Because think about it. Think about what you're doing. You're shredding your skin, microfissures. You're injuring your skin, and so your skin is not going to give you fresh new skin cells. It doesn't make sense. Your skin says, oh my God, protection, right. Blood cells. Stop, seal the gap. If you ever watch Star Trek, right? You're going to breach it. You got to seal it. So that's the whole thing right there. Be gentle and exfoliate everything, even your ears. No, I don't know about your ears, but the one thing I wouldn't be exfoliating around the eye area, but neck, décolleté, definitely. It's really relaxing. If you do it right, you're taking some time, but it actually feels good. You kind of just go into this kind of mental trippy state. and put on some good music and just kind of enjoy it, rinse between, and you'll go, wow. So it's always good to exfoliate before you get into your cleansing process. So let's talk about other ways to help our skin cells fall off, right? So Lisa actually used this morning my Renewing Cream Cleanser. It has glycolic acids in it. Glycolic, alpha hydroxy, lactic acid, fruit acids, milk acids. They're not the same thing, but they are mostly the same thing in that they help to loosen the dead skin cells. They don't physically remove the dead skin cell, but they loosen the connection between the dead skin cell and the living skin cell. So when you do exfoliate, or sometimes just wash your face the next time, they willingly just let go. And so that's why glycolic acids are awesome, because they're a way to maintain better exfoliation just throughout the day. So that's why it's good to have it in a cleanser. Oh, there's so many things I forgot to tell you guys. Hold on a second. I'm just going to check something. 1 second, everybody. Make sure we're good here. I'm just checking our live feed. And I believe it's good. Let me check over here. Oh, we're good. Oh, well. I forgot to mention that, hey, we have live chat. And to participate, you can live chat with us and answer your questions. However, the computer that I'm using to see the live chat is, well, it's just not bringing it up. It's just buffering. But our stream is good, so I know that you guys are getting us. So, I mean, that's good. But sorry about that in terms of me being able to see your live chat just yet. But maybe it'll come back in. Stupid technology. Come on. All right. So, glycolic acids, fruit acids, those are really good things. So, in your cleanser, yes. It can even be in your toner. And once again, we did use the my mild toning elixir on Lisa's skin today. And beyond it being a slip to help the moisturizer just slip onto the skin, it also has some like antiseptics, like I said, witch hazels, green tea extracts. It has aloe, it has cucumber extracts, and those things are humectants. They're also healing to the skin. Like the more traditional use of a toner is after you let's say it's nighttime and you like to wear makeup. After you cleanse, the toner is really a follow-up. It's like the rinse cycle in the washing machine. It just gets everything that maybe the cleansing cycle missed. And so that's another purpose for toner, but you want to use it a little bit more plentifully with a cotton pad and to wipe and those kinds of things.
So my understanding of a toner growing up was that it tightens the pores and makes the pores look smaller.
So it can tighten your pores and usually it's alcohol that constricts.
Okay.
So if there's alcohol in it, yes. And alcohol, denatured alcohol is a good thing because denatured alcohol doesn't dry out the skin, right? It's a cosmetic grade alcohol. And that's what I use in my my brush cleaner actually is that kind of alcohol. It's just not really harsh. Mm-hmm. Yes, but I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't use it because that's what it does. I mean, only because if it's too drying because of the alcohol, your skin's going to take a beating. You're basically frying the moisture out of it that you're trying to keep in it. But a little bit's good.
So I never was really sure how to use toner or why I would use it.
It's a follow-up to cleansing. It really is because you don't want to do all the cleansing at once. I mean, you're like, oh, my face is clean, boom. It's a way of being more gentle. You cleanse and you follow up with toner so you get the skin thoroughly clean without working it too hard in the cleansing process. Now, it's the same with we talk about exfoliation, right? Be gentle with it. You want the products to do the work. I mean, you want to deliver them effectively, but let the ingredients of the product do what they're supposed to do, rather than try to muscle it, because they're developed in such a way that they'll do that. So I do have a question And the question is, does skin renew around scars? Um, yeah, it does around scars, but not in scars. Scars are, it's like damaged skin, but very deep. And so, and when I say very deep, as deep as our thickness of our skin is. So you've cut into the connective tissue, and so it's and by it resealing, it's created what they call scar tissue, which is this bizarre fibrous thing that really doesn't break down. The scar tissue is meant to hold. It's like epoxy glue. It's meant to hold that fissure together. But anytime you get a burn or a scar or anything like that, vitamin E oil, just every day, a little bit of vitamin E oil and no sun, because that skin is because it's healing skin, so it's so many new skin cells trying to heal that they can hyperpigment really easily. Vitamin E oil, and I would just keep it physically blocked. You can put sunblock on it, but I would keep it physically blocked. So I hope that answers your question. That was looks like Miss Terry Price. So thanks, Terry Price. And you may win the age-defying serum today. That's very exciting. So that's toner, and then after you tone, the skin's now ready for moisturizer. That's when we use serum, and today we use the age-defying serum because that has the hyaluronic acids in it, and that's what's going to keep the water in your skin. And then after that, you're going to moisturize, whatever moisturizer you're using. Yes, sunblock is good. If you really want high sunblock, I would suggest moisturizing first and then a thin layer of your sunblock at the very, very end. And in doing that, that's how you keep you're trying to keep that water in your skin as long as possible. So when those skin cells get towards the top, instead of flattening out, they stay round and juicy until they get to the very top, and then they quickly go out. It's like, instead of, oh God, I'm dying, and when they get to the top, they're like, oh, what a miserable life, and then they fall off. Instead, they're like, I love my life. Life is great. Okay, well, I guess we only live so long. Bye. And that's what they do, right?
So, question about
the voices in my head. Yeah.
Moisturizer.
Okay.
The key ingredient in that was which acid? Some kind of acid.
In the moisturizer?
Yeah.
So the glycolic acid.
Glycolic.
Yeah, glycolic acids or alpha hydroxy acid, lactic acid, fruit acid. But I like glycolics. It's kind of all the same thing, but that's what is going to loosen those dead skin cells. So yes, you can be in your moisturizer as well. So it can be in your cleanser, your toner, your moisturizer, and for my money, it's one of the safest ways to keep those dead skin cells sort of ready to depart.
Right.
Leave on good terms from the rest of your skin. There are more aggressive things out there. And that are good, on a daily basis. But again, that's for another episode. Because of course, with your skincare, you want sun protection. You also want antioxidants, because oxidants also can mess up a skin cell bad. In terms of they oxidize. So think about skin rusting. If anything that rusts, what does it look like? So imagine if you have rusty skin. That's why you have antioxidants, to keep your skin from rusting, basically. But we'll talk about that when we do a deeper episode that concerns ourselves more with the appearance of lines, loss of elasticity, all of those things that none of us want. So I just want to throw out a couple of things here that I want to talk about.
One more question.
Oh yes, get back, Chris. Get back.
Last time you talked about jojoba oil.
Jojoba oil.
And you said you like it in moisturizing products because it is similar to the oils in our skin.
Right.
So is that part of what you would recommend for moisturizers?
If a moisturizer has jojoba oil in it, it's good. It's also it's a healer. So if your skin is like sensitive, has a lot of redness, jojoba oil is very calming to the skin as well. The jojoba oil that I use personally is in my foundation, and
Oh.
and the reason I have it in my foundation is that you want the integrity of the foundation to last. So when you put foundation on your skin and then your skin introduces oil, what happens is the oil goes into the foundation and it separates the foundation because that oil molecule is foreign to the foundation. But if the foundation already has jojoba oil in it, then our skin oil is molecularly almost identical to jojoba oil. So instead of it separating as it goes in, it kind of assimilates. It becomes part of the foundation.
Oh, okay.
So it holds the foundation together. So yes, and so for every reason it's good to have jojoba oil on your skin. That's the thing. There are so many great ingredients out there that help support our skin. I have a lot of great blogs on my website all about skincare. And if you and with links to articles about those particular ingredients. So if you ever have time and you want to kind of cruise my blog, I recommend it. I have a lot of posts, but you can also just search for like jojoba oil, and it will take you to where you can find that and get more answers. So many things I wanted to share with you today, and I do hope that this is all reaching you because it's not reaching me on my little computer. But I did get I did get someone to check in with us. So I'm going to just try a whole different page over here. But age-defying serum. So the serum that I used on Lisa's skin today, that serum is today's featured product. So we're going to give that away to one of our live chat participants today. And age-defying serum, if you don't own it, it's only $29. But wait, is it only $29? I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, you know what? I think it's 20% off right now. Yay! It's 20% off. Wait, let me try that again. I think it's only 20% off right now. Yeah. And the crowd goes nuts, right? 20% off. Yeah, so on my website, put everything in the cart, and you just use coupon code MUGLIVE17, MUGLIVE17. The only things that don't qualify are my value bundles, and they will say on them value bundles because they're already less than 20% off. Those are just items that I bundle together that make sense, and I try to make your shopping easier by doing that. And of course, you get a little bit of a bonus when you do that. But do remember that with Makeup Gourmet, I'm so happy to have so many good things. I lucked out sort of formulating this line. So yes, we have skincare both for women and men. And men, you can use the women's, and women's, you can use the men. Skin is skin. It just really comes down to packaging often. But if you also are, if you like eyeshadow and lipstick and all those other good things, I have a complete color line. Product is excellent. I have affordable brushes, and I have all the supplies you need. Supplies are things like sponges, disposable lipstick applicators, what have you. And all that is available online at makeupgourmet.com. So if you want to take advantage of the coupon code, the MUGLIVE17 coupon code, this will be good until next week's show. So you don't have to wait. I used to stop it right at midnight, but people just really liked it. So I decided, heck, I'll just keep it going. So until my next show, you can use MUGLIVE17 and get the 20% cart discount. You're welcome. Woo-hoo! That's right. So is there something we are not talking about that you want to know something about? Well, then by all means, why don't you all send an email to info@makeupgourmet.com, and you can suggest episode topics. And beyond just suggesting topics, you can also, if you are in the mood, you can appear on makeupgourmet.com. That's right. So use the same email. Just give me a shout. happy to have you on the show. You get free product. Tonight, Lisa also gets tacos and margaritas, right? So,
oh, yeah.
Woohoo! Now, I'm not promising that, right?
Arriba.
This is her second visit here, so I had to outdo myself with my, what do you call it? Not hospitality. Hospitality, I think, is the right word. Yeah, okay, let's just say that. So anyway, please, if you want to be on, give me a quick email. Now, the information I'm sharing with you and all the information that I have really is put together in the great, great book, the Amazon bestseller, Face with a Heart, Mastering Authentic Beauty Makeup. When you buy it from Amazon, you do get a free ebook. And the ebook is, it's great for those of you who travel, but you still want to get access to the information. So you get it on Amazon. You can also buy the same book from my website, but I can't do an ebook because I'm not Amazon. So I don't do ebooks. So there's that. So that was fun, huh, Lisa?
Absolutely.
All right. So everybody, let's say goodbye to Lisa. Hold on for a second. And then, Lisa, thanks for being on the show.
It was fun. I learned a lot.
I learned a lot, too. I love talking about this stuff. The one thing that I forgot to mention now that we say it, and so I don't forget, is our skin will work as hard as you ask it to. So when we're born and we're growing up, our skin is pumping out the new skin cells. It has to because we're growing. The only reason it slows down is because we stop growing. So it's
interesting,
right? It's going to generate cells at the rate that it needs to. So what I'm saying is it's like giving your skin exercise. When you keep your skin optimized with the glycolic acids, the good exfoliation, then your skin goes, oh, we need new skin cells faster. Okay, come on, guys, let's go. Then you start making new skin cells. They have to because skin is designed to protect us. So it wants to make new skin cells, but only when it has to. So you can energize your skin and make your skin behave like a younger skin. And what that means, that behavior is making new skin cells faster. But the result of making new skin cells faster is that you have fresher skin cells coming to the surface more quickly, that you've pampered with hyaluronic acid and all that good stuff, so that your skin looks its best and its youngest, right? So that's the whole concept behind pampering that top layer of skin and keeping it full of moisture and how you do it. There's no mystery to it. We all have young skin. It's just how we really care for the life cycle of our skin cell. How do we treat it for those 30 days? Right. Externally, of course, internally, diet, lifestyle, drinking water, all those things, of course, are a huge factor. But externally, that's where the battle is between the environment and our skin, and those are the things we can do to really protect it. So I'm glad I remember that because I wanted to share that.
Excellent recap.
Thanks for the recap, excellence. Without too much further ado, thank you for tuning in. We are going to be here next week, and next week is a makeup episode for all you makeup lovers, since this is a makeup show. Last week we did airbrush, and that was excellent. So if you haven't seen the airbrush episode, definitely check it out. Because you'll go, oh, that's airbrush. It's probably not what you think, and it's all that much more awesome to watch. So next week, classic contour eyes. Really, it's like the mother of all eyeshadow techniques. It's awesome because maybe you're doing it perfectly right now, but maybe you're not. And maybe there's just a couple of things you're doing that if you just reversed what you were doing, it would be perfect. And that's what I'm going to share with you. You're going to have a couple of aha moments when you watch this next episode, and I think you'll super duper love it. So without further ado, I want to thank everybody again for tuning in, because I had a whole bunch of fun having you guys here. And Lisa, thank you for being here again.
You too.
And so, as we pull on out, we want to thank everybody, and thank you. Yay!